안녕하세요. Exchange Chan Megan
Joanne입니다. 안녕하세요. Exchange Chan 32번째 시간입니다. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Joanne.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Wow, a 32nd time.
I know. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. 32.
Oh.
It's a lot.
A lot.
But in like a
we
really...
did a lot.
We did do a lot.
We did it.
We did it. And it's kind of fun because like this was new for both of us. And to now think that...
The first time.
And to think back to
both
the first time. I mean, and you took the class, but like I've done art. And so it's different kind of experience. And now that we've, I think, grown used to it in a really beautiful way. And we've gotten to know each other for so long. It's just, it's been a lovely journey.
Yeah, lovely journey.
I'm loving it.
Yes,
having a good time.
Really it is.
Yeah. So here we are.
Yeah.
And today, what are we doing?
Today our subject topic could be dating.
Yeah, I think this feels like a long-awaited topic as someone who's single.
For you.
Well, not for me. I think this is a hot topic because I'm not married.
All of us.
And so, love and dating is always kind of this, I mean, even as artists, right? Like how often do poets and writers and artists talk about love? I think
love is always
questions about love and friendship,
many
whatever.
kinds of love,
and especially as like young person who isn't married, it's like how hot of it. I was just traveling lately, and that was always that you're traveling alone. Where's your partner? Do you have a boyfriend? And it's like, okay, you don't need to know all the juicy details of my dating
looking
life.
For someone.
I know, like you don't need to know all the juicy details of my love life, but like I think fine, we will give in and we will talk about dating. Let's do it today. Exchange Chan, love and dating. Here we are.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about with love and dating?
Love and dating. For me, love and dating is a kind of long ago story.
Girl.
Sorrowfully.
But you also have, children, and they're kind of going through that as well, too. So I guess you have a maybe beautifully different perspective now of like having done it, but also what they're going through now. How is it similar? How is it different? And how to navigate that kind of
So nowadays
culture.
I feel some kind of very different kinds of love from my kids.
Yeah.
And then to my kids. But long time ago, going back to my age, going back to my days. And then, actually, I have to say that I met my current husband from the blind dating.
Can I say something so funny? First of all, blind dating.
Blind
that
dating.
feels like, even though you were like long ago, this is what happened. I feel like it's still a thing, and I feel like that's such a Korean. It's so Korean.
So
blind
Korean.
dating is so Korean.
So Korean.
Yeah. But also
so Korean.
Yeah, it is.
So other countries that kinds of blind dating not happens.
I mean, okay, you're talking to someone who is a few years your junior, and I am from the West. I've heard of blind dates. How I heard of them, though, growing up, it was more... Because I feel like here it's almost like an institution. Like we're going to set you up on all these blind dates to go do this thing and like get a partner. When I've heard of blind dates, it's been more of... oh, hey, I have a friend that you might be interested in, and they might be interested in
arranged
you.
by friends.
By friends or by parents a little bit. Or like, or like your parent's friend is like, oh, I have this like nephew, and maybe, you might be interested in them, or I have this niece and this child that I know of, this person I know of that you might be interested in. And this is like before internet more, because now... there is this discussion of like, it can't really be a blind date, because literally you could say, hey, here, this person, I think you might be interested in them. And then you go on social media and you find them. So it's not really like, what they look like at this point. You might know a little bit about them, unlike the past. But it was never, I mean, you're also talking to someone. I didn't grow up in like wealthy families. I think that might be more of a thing in wealthy families of like, hi, we're setting you up with on these blind dates on this, like, and other cultures too of, hi, here's this arranged marriage blind date thing. I didn't grow up in that. I didn't grow up in a lot of wealth. I didn't grow. It was more of like a, you find your love, good luck, you know, like have fun. Yeah.
In my age, you know, even though we are in so wealthy family, the blind dating is just so common.
Well, that's
so
why
common.
I say it's so Korean. I think regardless of how much money you make, blind dates are a thing and have been a thing and still are a thing. And like someone joked with me and they were like, Megan, maybe you should just like go do blind dates for fun.
For fun.
For like here. And I'm like, what? Then you can just like, you know, get paid to like, you know, go, like they'll pay for you to go on a date. And I'm like, I don't know if I want that. That's not, no, thank you. So I think it's like still,
who's that guy?
What is going on? Like, what is happening? So I think it's a thing. It's a, I think it's just a big thing in Korean culture of a blind date.
You know, we have some kind of company who arrange this kind of
serious?
blind dating.
Is it like, do you get like a booklet and you get to leaf through people or no?
What?
Like, because sometimes I've heard of where you get like a booklet of like someone with their like what
of
they
course.
are.
They had
Is
some
that a
kind
thing?
of long
Is that a
list
thing?
of the, you know,
Oh my god!
all men and women.
Oh my god!
Women, and then you know they write down the very detailed thing about that.
Oh my god!
Personality.
To me, that sounds like sperm donor type stuff. Like.
What?
You know what I mean? Like, because if you want like a sperm donor, whether you're like
sperm donor,
whether you're like a you know, a gay couple or you just you can't have a child yourself and whatever. It feels like that where it's like, oh, these are your attributes and here's a photo of you maybe and like and that's what it feels like to me. Like, what is happening? But also it makes me think about what would I put on my page. Like, hi, I'm Megan. I have someone called my hair bronze recently. I was like, okay. So I apparently have bronze hair and green eyes. I'm
I
an
know
artist.
something more
You know what
about
I mean?
you.
You know, like I don't know what to say.
Yes, she's just so sparky,
she is
energetic.
She is who she is, but then also like
passionate.
But like, don't fuck with her because she might not talk to you. She'll be very charming, and then like hang out with her at her house. She might not speak to you for a few hours. Like, I don't know.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. So okay, so you. That's why I say it's so quintessentially Korean. Is that blind dates, regardless of your socioeconomic status, there you go on a blind date.
My blind date was arranged by my mother.
Okay.
My mother.
Okay.
And then she hoped to get married.
Yeah.
Some nice guy.
Because you've mentioned before that you were quote unquote late.
You were a little bit late.
Old.
So she always worrying about me.
And now that I know, you were like what, 27?
27.
Wait, 25?
27, 8.
Well,
maybe
in Korean
7.
age?
Yeah, Korean age.
So you were
28.
like 20. So you were 26.
I'm not 26. Korean age was 28 or 9.
Yeah, that's 26 or 27.
Yeah, 7.
26, 27. That's baby.
Yeah. Baby.
That's so young.
Yeah, now I think that that was
like, think
so
of your
baby,
daughter.
so young.
Think of your daughter getting married then.
And then, you know, at that time, I didn't know anything about the marriage or
Really?
housework.
Okay.
I didn't expect this hardship about that housework. And then growing children. Oh, no.
No, not how to raise children. I mean, that feels like a common thing of marriage and dating in your generation in particular, like in general, of this sense of you just kind of are told to do this, and there hasn't always been education historically about like, well, you're just supposed to get married and you'll figure it out. Whereas like you know, we even talked about, I knew how to take care of a kid at a very early age, but you didn't have that education.
You are not so, you know, normal case, isn't it?
Well, I think there is just more information now. Mine isn't very normal, but like I also was a nanny and a babysitter for a long time. Mine isn't quite normal, but it's also, I don't think, completely abnormal because there's just more information now. And I think there's less taboo about like what marriage life is like and can be like, or there's more resources about like babies and yeah. And also more choices. Think about, you know, more choices for especially young women to be independent. Like I'm sat here, like 5 years older than when you got married. And, yeah, I'm here and I'm still single. So, you know, it's just more options, I think. More acceptable options.
And in Korean conditions, you know, usually the normal families, they don't have a lot of siblings anymore.
Yeah.
And then they just only child. So they don't have any the chances to experience the kinds of nanny things before marriage.
Okay.
And then even though my age, just 4 or 5 siblings is just normal my days. But
which
I
was like
didn't
normal
have.
for me. And you still didn't have it.
I didn't have.
Really?
I didn't have, unfortunately. So I didn't know anything. So I was so ignorant about it.
But you know, you had your mother literally set you up on a date. And can I ask, did you go on one blind date, many blind dates? Was it just one?
It's a secret.
Okay.
Don't ask me.
Okay, it's a secret. I'll be more open about my dating life.
Oh, yeah. And you know, honestly, it was not one time.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It
And
was
then-
not, you said?
It was not. It was not one
Well,
time.
And that's, I mean, you don't have to feel obligated to tell me, and we don't need to push it. But I ask because, like, I feel like it would be uncommon if you only went on one. I feel like it's normal to go on a few dates at least to find someone that you work with that goes well with your personality. You go well with their lifestyle and personality, them with yours.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the matter. That's the issue. So for me, you know, I after meeting my current husband, and then I spent a lot of 1.5 years after that, and then I
Like dating?
Yeah,
him?
dating.
Great. That's a good time to date someone. Like,
So-
especially in a time and a culture where, because you're dating him to get married. Like, because I haven't dated many people officially. I've had casual relationships, but I've dated someone for quite a long time off and on. It was very toxic, so not good. But I think that's more common now to maybe date someone longer, depending on lifestyle, what you're doing. I also have different ideas. I'm artist through and through in more than just what I make. But I think, like, if you are, like you said, you went on a blind date for marriage, to date someone 1.5 years before getting, I think that's a good amount of time, especially if you know you're getting married.
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, to think about that, the period dating before marriage from now.
Yeah. Is it different?
I think that, you know, there are a lot of things you would not know about him before marriage.
So you think it's even less, like it wasn't enough time?
No enough time.
Okay. And what it's sounding like too is because it almost seems like taboo, or like maybe not taboo, but like it wasn't common to have certain conversations about raising kids or about housework or about this, because this could literally also be like, hi, what do you think about this thing? Or like, you know, I mean, you don't need to share this, but like I'm of the opinion that you should maybe live together or at least have sex before you're married. Like personally,
That's kind of
that's
taboo
mine, but like that's
in Korea.
taboo in Korea, and
Yeah, that's
especially
right.
during when you were dating and getting
so
married.
our
So
dating
like,
experience has some kind of limited, you know, the boxes of that limited, you know, the experiencing. And so we can have just very small things together when we date. And after that, after marriage, all the things.
then it all comes out.
All the things, you know, approach.
Well, honestly, that's why
approach us.
sometimes I hesitate with getting married myself, because like, even though it has developed and I can maybe go into it with a certain kind of intention, I even just don't always like the institution of marriage, because sometimes it feels like exactly what you said. I don't know all these things about you. And sometimes it's been there to trap women in particular, to like, oh, well, now you're married and there's so much taboo around getting divorced or around, you know, familial marriage strife. And so like, you are put in this situation and you're like, I didn't know this about you, and now I don't know if I want to know this about you. Like, I don't think I like this about you. And so I have hesitated with marriage in particular for those reasons too, because I'm like, I think it's also very defiant and like resistant of me as a woman to be single. I think it kind of it's part of my artwork too, I guess. Everything I talk about in my artwork, it would make sense that I'm not married. But you never know where life leads you. But yeah, that's I guess I didn't think of it that way. For me, a year and a half, like if with how open I am and would want to be with my partner, I would think a year and a half is a good amount of time. But you're saying it still wasn't enough.
Not enough.
Okay.
I think not enough. And for me, I tried to find out something a little different from him. Yeah. But it was not enough.
Okay.
And then after marriage, I found out many things from him. So shocked.
Okay.
But becomes my trust to him becomes bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And then
I think
that's the marriage life.
Yeah, marriage life, but also family. Because I think when you get married, you're making your own family. And, I'm here going, I like to maybe challenge that I don't need to get married in order to make my own family, especially because I don't speak to my biological family and are not on good terms. And so, and I have chosen not to be married. So what can that feeling of trust and love and safety feel like with people that I choose to be that in my life without having to specifically do quote unquote family. But I am realizing more and more, and the older I get, and also just like my looks at different kinds of love and friendship and lovers and passion and all these things, like as person, but also as artist, that there's, I'm really finding the need and the desire for safety within love. And that's coming from someone who is a passionate, fiery artist that like literally I had an acting coach and was like, you don't need caffeine. You have so much energy whirling inside of you. I would question having caffeine. So like I am this like vibrant passion. And sometimes, I need a little casual hookup or a casual like fling with someone that is so passionate and fiery, but like to me that also isn't so sustainable. And I do want some passion and love and like there's a certain kind of feeling, I don't know if I can describe it, maybe I can poetically, but it's like a rush of just like overall tingling. That to me is also, but it's not like that fiery passion. I obviously would love that with a long-term partner, but I don't need the fiery passion with a long-term partner. I'm just learning more and more the need for safety and trust, like you're saying, of like, oh, I can be
so
me.
Important.
Yeah, I can be me and you can be you, and yet we can still trust each other and love each other, and we still choose each other. Like that to me is important.
That's right. You're so correct. You're right. And then these days, so unhappy things happens even though they are just married couple.
Yeah.
And then they sometimes some couples they did some bad things.
Yeah.
Or
they hurt each other. Like there's abuse.
So hurt.
Yeah.
And then abusement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so child abusement sometimes.
Yeah. Or even like
so
spousal abuse, like whether it's physical, mental, emotional, sexual, like it's bad. And that's why I question the institution of marriage, because like, it worked out for you, but, there was that pressure to get married and saying like, you're too old, you need to get married.
For me a little bit.
Like there was a bit of pressure. And I think even though we've evolved past some of that and divorce is becoming more and more of a thing, or, people are getting married later, I still think there is that history of pressure within our lives. And that's where I think we get into these, what you're talking about, where they're like, you should not be married and the two of you should not have been married together. And because people feel like, oh, it's natural now, I should get married. And it's like, well, have you even questioned why you're getting married? Or are you just doing it because that seems like the next logical step? And have you actually inquired as to who this person is or who you are? Because like also abuser, someone being awful, like maybe take a look at yourself and not be such a dick, like, and I'm saying that cheekily, but also like go F yourself, like don't do that. So I think there's so much to unpack within that. Yeah.
Back in my times, it was a weird thing. And then in some family, they have a very old maid they in the case they have old maid. They had old maid.
Like old maid meaning like someone who actually helps with the house chores, or someone who's just older and didn't get married?
Old aged, a little bit aged but not married.
Okay.
Daughter.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
And then the daughter passed over 30s. It was a so big issue.
Yeah, I mean, like there's in English we have like there have been titles for like women who are past 23. They were called spinsters, and then you get older, you're called like there are so many, like I can't remember all the names, like a buckthorn, all these like names for women, and it's only for women who like
Buckthorn?
Yeah, there was like you're a buckthorn. I think I'm in the age group. I might be just out of buckthorn or something. I'll have to look it up maybe while we have our first song. I can look that up for us. But yeah, it's usually for women, right? It's like such an issue that oh my gosh, you didn't get married. But now I feel like because a lot of times that's also just been a degradation of women and belittling of women. Sure, sometimes it is biologically if you want to give birth, there is that, but also healthcare is so much better nowadays. Like I have at least 10 years of a healthy pregnancy, and then maybe 15 to 20 of a scary, maybe not so healthy pregnancy, if I even want to have a baby. So yeah, I hope we keep trending toward like let a woman be, like let her be, let her choose what she wants to choose. And also, young people in general, where like I think sometimes aggression comes out in a marriage because you didn't fully choose for yourself what you want to be doing, and that's just not good for anyone. So
and then nowadays we live so long,
yeah,
and then our longevity to be centennial,
past that, like so,
and then that could be normal, so soon.
And I think that's okay. And I also think it's okay. We're pressured to like you need to find the love of your life so early, and I just think I don't think so. I'm someone who gave up like relationships with family, like biological family, with friends, with lovers, because I am of the belief I'm an artist in the idea of romanticism in big R and little r, of like I'm romantic, but also like I'm idealistic, or I like to think of things of like what could be, and I'm willing to, what if I find the love of my life at 50, at 60, and that's okay. Why not? Also, what if I'm the love of my life, and maybe someone else, like I think there can be a beauty in that too. And that's not to say I won't get married, but I may never, and who knows? And I think that's okay. Like that's what love and relationships and dating are, because I also think dating yourself is great. I take myself on dates all the time, and I go on little dates with my friends, because I think that's a beautiful love.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, then why don't we have...
Yeah, and I'll look up buckthorns while we have our first song, yeah?
Yeah, first song.
Okay, so this is a repeat song that we played before, but like you adore it, I adore it. So it's APT or Apate by Rosé and Bruno Mars.
Game start. 아파트 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 kissy face sent to your phone, but I'm trying to kiss your lips for real. Red hearts, that's what I'm on, yeah. Come give me something I can feel. Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? Sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy. All you gotta do is just meet me at the 아파트 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 아파트
It's whatever you like. Turn this opposite into a club. I'm talking drink, dance, smoke, freak, party all night. Come back, go, what's up? Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? Sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy. All you gotta do is just meet me at the
아파트 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 I'm coming to get you. Get you, get you. Hold on, I'm on my way. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on my way. Hold on, I'm on my way. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm on my way.
Don't you want me like I want you, baby? Don't you need me like I need you now? Sleep tomorrow, but tonight go crazy. All you gotta do is just meet me at the.
Just meet me
Just meet me at the. Just meet me at the.
So I embarrassed myself on the radio. I called it I said buckthorn, which I think it's an invasive species. The word is thornback, which has thorn and a B, but just like opposite. Anyway, thornback is, so in English, I always knew the word spinster, which isn't what you're talking about, an unmarried person who, whatever. But apparently there are other names, and usually it's for like an age, like different ages. So if you're like under 25, it's spinster, but then there's thornback. And I think from what I'm looking at, this could also be a joke, but I think I've heard of my age group right now, I would be a Venus death trap.
Death trap?
Death trap. Death trap. A Venus death trap,
Mm-hmm.
which gladly.
And
then there's
Venus,
like-
death trap.
Yeah, kind of like Venus flytrap, but like death trap. And then there's Lady of the Blade, Fanged Dowager, stuff like that. So yeah, it's always these names for women. Is there like a Korean word for a woman, an unmarried woman who's older?
Yeah, 노처녀.
No,
노처녀.
no chonya. And what does it mean? Just unmarried?
노처녀 means unmarried but little aged.
Why do we always? Is there one for men?
One for men, 노총각.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay.
So cute.
why is his so cute? Oh God, I guess we would say bachelor usually, like a bachelor.
Bachelor.
A bachelor, yeah.
Bachelor. Bachelor.
Bachelor, yeah.
Bachelor.
Yeah. So there we are.
And then let's talk about nowadays.
Okay, yes.
I always, so worry about and then doubtable a little bit about these current generations thinking way.
Why?
But you are, we were arranged by parents were, friends were. So
Yeah.
we got some blind dating as a kind of proved about the spouse.
Yeah.
But you are really like to meet someone through dating app
Well, it depends.
these days.
I think
depends.
that's kind of. Do you want to know a fun fact about me?
What?
Do you want to know a fun fact?
Fun fact.
So, fun fact. Do you know the dating
course.
app Tinder?
What?
Do you know Tinder, the dating app?
Oh,
It's a dating app.
No, I'm
You've heard
ignorant
of it.
about
Okay, well,
that field.
there's I think one of the first, besides like Match.com or these other dating websites, there was Tinder. I think was like the first app. Really, I actually went on a date when I was in Scotland with one of the guys who like helped develop Tinder. Yeah, he's not like an official owner, but he like helped make it for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun fact about Megan. Yeah, it was a fun date, and I had a little fling with him. But I think, because you say doubtful, I think it depends on what do you value as a human. Like some people really value their family's opinion. I don't. I couldn't care less what my family thinks about my partner. I think like these trends of finding your own partner is this, maybe sense of autonomy of like, I get to choose my partner and I have authority and autonomy of like, I am the person who ultimately gets to decide who I spend my life with. Also if I divorce, whatever. Dating apps, I think have been like that's been the trend, but even now, a lot of people don't like dating apps, but sometimes it's, well, is that our only choice? Especially with the pandemic having been a thing. But there have also been like studies and articles that have come out about like how certain dating apps like actually aren't having you try and pretty much they're trying to keep you on the dating app and not actually be in a relationship, which is bullshit because like you're a dating app saying that you want us to find love, but you're actually making it so we just stay on the app. Like, how rude of you. That's stupid. I'm someone who I have only reluctantly used dating apps, and it was for like convenience of other things. Like one was kind of an experiment, but normally I've never been on dating apps. I don't know. Dating is not a priority for me. Like I also trust that
you are not normal. You're abnormal.
I am abnormal. I understand.
So you're reluctant to use.
I think they're stupid.
Stupid.
I don't like. Well, it's an effort and attention I don't like. I think in total I've had a dating app on my phone in total. Maybe a year in my whole dating life, which is over a decade. The first time I ever signed up for one was like 2 weeks in 2017. And then like last year because I just didn't, I don't know, it was a way to kind of meet. I don't know. I just did. And I had it and I would barely go on it because like I would have a burst of energy and then like I don't want to talk to you. Also, I find most people boring. Not like and not to say boring. Well, it's boring because like I don't want to keep texting and and a lot of times it depends on the dating app you're using. It can just be for a casual hookup, a casual this, and I'm just like this. I'm also like I'm artist and I'm interesting and I have a weird life and I just don't want to be fetishized for that. And a lot of times it's like you kind of lead with that because you have to get to know people, but I'm just like I'm not like a thing for you to like I don't know. They're not my favorite. I'd rather live my life and I trust that I'll be able to find someone outside of a dating app. I don't know.
And then sometimes, I feel some kind of from your young generations using a lot of, dating apps.
Yeah.
It made me a little bit worryable about that.
Oh.
If it is safe enough.
I mean, I think anything can't, a blind date could also be unsafe.
Unsafe.
Especially how I knew of blind dates because usually blind literally means like I don't know what this person looks like and I don't know much about them. But yeah, dating apps can definitely be unsafe. And whenever I've used them, I've made sure I know what this person looks like. And I'm making sure that we are meeting in public places. So yeah. There was one, I'm remembering one in particular that I went on and great person I went on the date with, but he was like adamant that he drives me and it was in Taiwan and he's like, let's go into the mountains. And I'm like, are you going to murder me? And I literally like look at him and I just go, are you going to murder me? And he's like, no. I'm like, but you're taking me into the mountains. And right, like he's like, but that's the coffee shop that's open until late. And I'm like, sir, it's foggy. I don't know you. I'm in your car. I don't, if you let me out on the middle, like, I don't know where I am. Are you gonna murder me? And he's like, no. And I did, and I went on a couple dates with him. And I have some very interesting dating stories, which I don't need to get into. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I think a lot of people use dating apps. Depends on how you use them. But otherwise, like I think COVID kind of changed the climate of some things. But I think also dating apps have changed the climate of whether you're using them, but a lot of people aren't liking them. And so it's like, well, then how, now that COVID happened, how do we meet people? Is it back to what is it called? Blind dating or, because I also haven't always been a club person and I don't want to always meet someone. I'm not against meeting someone at like a bar or a club or something, but it's also what kind of relationship are they looking for? And I'm happy to be pleasantly surprised. Like you literally could meet someone at the club and they are like it's their first time at a club and like they're the sweetest little thing and they just actually want to get to know you fully. I'm always open to what could it be, instead of only looking at the stereotype of the type of person you meet at a club or the whatever. But
Yeah, your own remarks, express some kind of your key point is in the safety.
Safety, because I mean, I will admit this, I haven't always been safe, and I've had to learn that, like, young woman traveling alone, living alone. I don't want to get into it, but like, it's been actually very harmful at times and very scary, and I'm lucky to be alive in some cases. So I think it's I don't know. I'm also, again, romantic artist with a big R, little r of like, I want to feel like I can flow through my life and I'll meet the person that I'm meant to meet. And sometimes that means going on a dating app, whatever it is. But I think you're maybe right to be like question how us young people are dating, but I also think we're questioning how we're dating as well, because we're like, dating apps have been there, or this has been there, that, and the pandemic happened. So, but something isn't working. So how can we rectify that and actually date in ways that we want to be dating?
Then how do you think about that, kind of a blind dating arranged by your friend?
By someone? I mean, like I said, I grew up in the West, and that's how I've also heard of blind dates. And I guess you could just say like, hey, I have this friend that I think you'd be interested in. Like, it still happens. I mean, I was even just talking with someone, and we wanted to set up two people. Like I've set up people before, which is technically a blind date. I'm never against that. But also I'm not looking for love in particular right now. Like, I've never been looking for love. If it happens, it happens. I have me. I'm consumed with my art and making friends and building my life in that way. And if there's a lover who adds to my life, great. If not, bye. I am at a point where, like I said, I've been in some not great situations. I can be picky, and I'm happy to be picky. So,
Art, please come closer to Maggie.
No, because you might feel bad because I might say no. I'll probably say no. I have standards, and I won't be afraid to say them.
Okay.
Should we do second song?
Great. Turn on the second song, please.
Okay. Our next song is Boy With Love by BTS.
모든 게 궁금해질 때 tell me 뭐가 널 행복하게 하는지 text me
Your every picture 내 머리만 듣고 싶어
Come be my teacher 네 모든 걸 다 가르쳐줘
내 삶은 on top 너야 관계에서 꽉지 않게 만들어버린 너라는 백 하나부터 열까지 모든 게 특별하지 너의 관심사 걸음걸이 말투와 사소한 작은 습관들 같이 난 말했지 너무 작다 내가 영웅이 된 거라고 난 말했지 운명 따윈 전부터 내게 아니었다고 세계의 평화 거대한 질서 그저 널 지킬
Yeah, you make it, I'm your boy.
길 나도 모르게 힘이 들어가기도 했어 높아버린 sky 커져버린 헛 때론 도망치게 해달라며 기도했어 너의 상처는 나의 상처 깨달았을 때 나 다짐했던 건 네가 준 이 그 후세 나에게로 태양이 아닌 너에게로 Let me fly
Okay, then I always wondering, young generation, young generations, the matter who pays for dating.
For a date. I mean, I'm maybe both a good person to ask and a not so good person to ask because I'm like I'm
person. That's a good person.
because I'm gonna give you the nuance and I'm gonna give you the variations because I don't think it's one thing and I don't think one thing works for everyone and I don't think one thing works in every culture. Like, in English we have the phrase going Dutch and that's literally comes from the Netherlands of like,
Netherlands.
you're going to pay half for everything.
A bad thing comes to Netherlands.
Oh, it's not bad. It's just, it is what it is. You pay half and even within friends, like, hi, we're going out half. Or, you go to more traditional cultures and it's going to be the dude. I've had moments of different things within my life and different phases, whether it's been, I've been in circumstances where I've felt like I don't want anyone to feel obligated to pay for me. But also there have been times, especially now I'm weirdly attracting people who like want to pay for me. But also, I like my autonomy. I like my independence. I think how I like to go about it, I guess. And this is also like me saying there's nuance to everything, everyone. It's what works for the couple and what works for you. And for me in the past, at times it's been like, I'm going to pay for this, you pay for that. Or like, I really want to do this and I can afford that. So I'm going to pay for us to do that. But sometimes I've had it at a detriment where like, this is maybe really sad. I haven't really had partners care about my birthday or about like I love giving gifts and I love like even just small things. Like if you come home with a bag of oranges, I'm like, oh my God, I love you forever. Like, thank you. You gave me a birthday present of croissants and I'm like, oh my God, best birthday present ever. I love.
Oh, don't mention that.
It was my birthday, y'all, and she gave me a present. It was so nice. So like it has been to my detriment sometimes of like, I haven't always been in the healthiest of relationships in the past because I have a history of abuse. And
so you mean always share?
Yeah, it was like always sharing. And
expenses.
sometimes like to a fault of like, oh, they actually probably could have paid more and should have paid more, but like they were abusive. And so like, okay. And that's not, red flag about me. It was just like, I think people go through different moments like that in their life and heal from it. So but also I just don't date often. And so a lot of times if it's like a first date or a casual thing, a lot of times it's been that the person has wanted to pay for me. But I've also been like, if it's been a more of a prolonged thing, I've paid as well, or I contribute in other ways. I think it just depends on the person.
Depends on partner.
Because I also don't want the partner to be like, well, I'm the dude or I make this and like I need to pay. It's like, well, but also like I contribute too. Like it's also okay for, I don't need someone telling me my place, especially when it comes to money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, if I'm feeling that energy of someone coming in going like, I am going to pay whether you like it or not, in almost a controlling way, I'm out. Like, I can't do that. But if someone's like, hey, let me pay.
Oh, healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy thinking way.
Yeah.
And then back in my days, usually the especially men, one side covered all the dating expenses.
Yeah.
That's normal. And then, but it's too heavy. It's too heavy for
think
them.
So.
I
I think if there's a pressure to do it,
always.
I also don't like though, if like say someone does have a really good job and they can afford it, especially when it comes to a man and he can afford it, I'm like, then just pay, you dumbass. Like, because sometimes I think there are men that are like, well, I shouldn't have to because like we're in a progressive culture. I'm like, but also you can't expect the person to like, if you have a certain idea of what you want to be doing, but then you're forcing someone else to pay that. I think that's also not good. Like, I think if you can afford it, pay for it. Because I also, maybe it's more of a Buddhist mentality of like giving what you can. And sometimes that's your time. Sometimes that's, you're just good energy. Like sometimes I'm just artist and people find me fun and they're like, you're just pretty and a little sexy and a little fun. And like, that's what you contribute. And I want to pay for you. I'm like, okay, great. So it's just, what can you give? And sometimes that's money. Sometimes that's not. And also thinking like, you know, I think sometimes there can be too much pressure for it to be a certain kind of dating. Like I think in what I've experienced of Korean culture, like, cause I go to that pottery studio, right? And how often do I see couples and there's always flowers, always a gift. And I'm like, I don't need that all the time, but like, yeah, sure. Sometimes it would be nice to have this, but I think there can be certain pressures of what dating looks like in order for it to be called dating. And I don't like that either. And cause that's also like expectations of money and finances. That's just icky.
Yeah, that's right. And then for the very healthy relationship each other, and so your young generations thinking way it is much wider than ours. Yeah. And then you know, I've sometimes heard that you know some guys, some young guys, they split the bill. Split the bill. And then sometimes they make some kind of, you know, shared account.
I've never heard of that. One's weird to me.
Weird?
Well, because like from my understanding, again, I don't date often and I've never been married. And I think I've always been against a shared account because like in the past, a woman couldn't have an account unless she was married to a man. And so there's always been a hesitance to have shared money in that way for me. And from again, I don't even look into it, so this could be outdated information. But my understanding was that you had to be married in order to share an account. I didn't know you could share one if you're not married here. Is that a thing? Right? Like if you're just dating, not married, can you share an account?
Yeah, and then
can you?
Even though that case, it does make any trouble because you know,
just share an account with someone. That's allowed.
That's allowed?
Is it allowed? Just like if you and I wanted to share an account, could we?
But some guys, it's a very normal to share.
No, I'm asking like legally. Could you, if you and I wanted to share an account, could we? Like
of course.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh. What? Okay, new information for Megan. Learn something new every day. What? Okay, so people do that as like a shared thing.
Shared thing, and then they just spend the money only within that amount they saved.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I guess if I was gonna do that, I would want it to be like, let's put the similar percentage of our paychecks, where if like you make more money than me or I make more money than you, I might add more. Or just like, what do I generously want to put there? Yeah, I don't know. I think I just don't date enough to know to think about these things.
So,
oh God.
So you think that it's a kind of a weird thing?
I think I just, and this might be just a limitation within me, a lack of openness around it, just because I don't date enough. Like my last partnership, like I've had casual things or like complicated situations, but the last time I was officially dating someone and called them my partner was, it's 2024, 2019. 2019, yeah, that's
2019.
Yeah, it's been 5 years since I've officially dated someone.
Officially.
Let's just we'll leave it at that. There have been some complicated, interesting things in the love life of Megan, but I don't need to share them now. But yeah, that's been my official last official relationship. So I just don't think of that, and I think. So I haven't thought. I don't stay somewhere long enough either to like get a bank account there. So yeah, I don't know. I guess like I'm okay with, like I would gladly do that. I guess I don't always think of it that way. how I've gone about it is like, oh, I want to do this thing together. I'm going to pay for that. I don't want to force someone to be like, hey, I want to do this together. You need to pay for it. Unless that's like what they want to do. I've been in situations where it's like, especially here, like I don't always realize this. You can like transfer money quickly to an account. The person I was with forgot their card and they didn't have it on their phone. And so I'm like, oh, I can pay. I have it. And they were like, no, I am paying. And I'm like, oh, fine. Okay. I'll figure it out.
Depends on the cases. And
I
then
think so too.
Yeah. On the partners and then on the relationships.
And the dynamics of the relationship.
Dynamics.
Yeah.
So various.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think I also need to be okay with people paying for me. I've lived a lot of my life where I've been hesitant. Like, does you paying for this, do you expect something from me? And that's not just like in sexual terms. That's also like, whether it was with family, like, well, we're doing this for you, therefore you owe us your time, attention, or money, body, whatever, like from people. So I've always been hesitant with that, but that's something I definitely have worked on healing, and I need to be okay with receiving. It's okay to like have people do things for you.
That's a very appreciative things, and then lenient, and then very good things to serve to someone. It's very beautiful.
Because that's also how someone gives sometimes. They give through gift giving, or they give through paying. And then it comes on, and why I say it's a healing thing for me of like, oh, I do give things that aren't just monetary or financial. I think sometimes there's too much of a conversation, and it's actually sometimes a very unfortunate conversation and toxicity within it of like, we don't need to get into it because our time is almost done. But
really?
Yeah, I know we need to end. But I will say it's a much more intense conversation. It's happening a lot in the West right now too, of like, especially in a heterosexual relationships, of who pays and who doesn't. And it's almost like violent, and it's not great. But I just think calm down.
Calm down.
See what works for you and go from there. Yeah. But yeah, it's about time to end.
Say goodbye.
Yeah. How do you feel about today's conversation? Did you learn something?
Very good. Yeah? Very good. And helpful to understand the young generation.
Okay. Yeah. Because you have children in the young generation and they're dating.
My kids.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're dating or not, but they could be at some point. So yeah.
Good.
So any closing remarks, statements, any questions before we go?
No questions, but can you guess the next topic?
Can I guess? Probably not. Does it have something to do with what we just talked about?
Of course.
Are you okay?
And then
no, tell me. I don't want to
Okay, that could be public displays of affection.
PDA.
It's so issue in
PDA.
Korea. Yeah, PDA.
PDA. Okay, that'll be fun to talk about. I learned in Korea for the first time the word skinship, which I have never used in English. But I definitely have lots of.
You never used that?
No, I've never used that word in English, but I have with like Korean people. So like, very happy to talk about it. I've had
so
cycles of it in my
days
really. It's
in
hot.
Korea, yeah.
Oh, well, then I'm happy to talk about it.
Let's talk about
Okay.
it.
Well, then we will talk about it next time.
Next time.
And we'll see you next time. Okay.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Our last song is Red by The Rose.
Stay 작은 불빛 날 끌어당기는 fireflies Take 날 데려가 숨 막히는 시선 속에 비춰지는 moonlight 길을 찾아가 점점 가까이 내게 다가